The golden boy Tom Brady and the golden coach Bill Belichick are headed back to the Super Bowl. But of course, it did not come without controversy. The Patriots, who put a pounding on the Indianapolis Colts, beating them 45-7, which was the most sound victory, I believe, of the whole playoffs. We learned after the game that now the NFL is investigating if the New England Patriots deflated footballs in order to help themselves in that game against the Indianapolis Colts. And my first thought was, man, can the Patriots get a break? Last week, it was the illegal formation, supposedly. Now, deflation of footballs? Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again, here to talk NFL with you guys, specifically the Patriots, now that Deflate Gate has come out of the woodworks. But I want to jump into their 45-7 pounding of the Indianapolis Colts. They played a great all-around game, but their defense was elite. Their defense was great, which is why this team is in the Super Bowl and last year's team wasn't. They completely shut down Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was 12 of 33 passing, and he set a record doing so. Luck became the 10th QB in NFL history to complete 12 or fewer passes on 30 or more attempts in a playoff game. 9 of the other 10 lost that game. And Luck, you can add him making that 10 of 11. And this is the guy you all have anointed as the next great QB. 12 of 33, 126 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, all of that isn't Luck's fault. He was getting pressured a lot. And that's where the Patriots defense comes in. They completely shut down the Indianapolis Colts in this game. Indianapolis had 209 total yards, one of the best offenses in the NFL. 126 passing yards and just 83 rushing yards. 17 first downs, and like I said, 7 points. They were pounded 45-7. We have not seen Andrew Luck shut down to this level, I don't think, ever, to be honest. 12 of 33 for 126 yards? Those are Ryan Leaf numbers. And if that's taking it a little bit too far back for you, those are Patrick Ramsey numbers. Those are Rex Grossman numbers. Not Andrew Luck. So I don't blame all of this on Luck. I mean, the Patriots defense was phenomenal. They held their best rusher, Indianapolis, to just 51 yards. And they held T.Y. Hilton to just 36 yards on 6 targets, and he had 1 reception. So he hit them for 1 play, and that was it. Other than that, T.Y. Hilton, he was a no-show, non-existent. And you got to attribute that to the New England defense and Darrelle Revis, who had an interception in the game. And, I mean, he played great. Like I said, T.Y. was non-existent. He hit them for 1 play. And other than that 1 play, he was a no-show. And the Patriots, their offense was cooking pretty much too. I mean, LeGarrette Blount had 30 rushes for 148 yards. So Indianapolis, they couldn't stop the run at all. So New England, they could have just pounded the ball probably every play and still won by at least 21 points in this game without throwing 1 pass. I really do not doubt that. I think they would have won that game throwing 0 passes and just handing it off to LeGarrette Blount. That's how poor the Colts defense is. So all of this is not on Luck. Luck had a poor game, but there's no looking past that poor Indianapolis defense. They showed up last week, but this week they were a no-show. The Pats offense was just too overwhelming, and now the Pats are on to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady will become the first NFL quarterback to record 6 starts in the Super Bowl. His playoff record has improved to 20-8. And regardless of this game between them and the Seahawks, as long as Brady doesn't stink up the joint, he just may move into the best quarterback of all time for me, because these are unprecedented numbers. Brady's 20 playoff wins in his career are more than 21 different NFL franchises. Brady has more playoff wins than 21 different NFL franchises with his 20-8 playoff record. That is just unheard of. He will star in another Super Bowl more than John Elway has, and 2 more now than Joe Montana when he takes the field against the Seahawks in Arizona on February 1st. This man's career has just been astounding. At this point, I don't see how you can say Peyton Manning is a better quarterback all time than Tom Brady. If you say that, you must be a Peyton fanboy, because other than individual stats per season, there is nothing that can back your argument. The playoff numbers, the playoff stats, the playoff record, all of that favors Tom Brady, and to me, that's what matters most. But now, I want to get into Deflategate. Because out of nowhere, after the game, we find out the New England Patriots are now under investigation by the NFL because there was rumor that they were possibly deflating footballs during the game, which would enhance their ability to pass and catch the football. So if they are guilty, then they cheated. Simple as that. I'm a Patriots fan, but I'll admit, if so, they cheated. But what makes me even more upset about it is they didn't need to cheat. So I hope this is not true, because like I said earlier, I think if they pounded the rock the whole game, they would have been able to beat the Indianapolis Colts. And they shut them down, the Colts, on offense. So Andrew Luck was not playing with the same deflated footballs. And if he was, that would be to his advantage as well. So the point is, the deflated football had nothing to do with what Andrew Luck was incapable of doing. So there's no argument there. And a deflated football is not helping LeGarrette Blount run right through the Indianapolis defense for 148 rushing yards. So in the end, regardless if the balls were deflated or not, the Patriots would have won that game. They won it soundly. Indianapolis got stomped, and there's no way around it. I'm glad so far what I've heard from different Colts players that they aren't making this as an excuse for their loss. Because honestly, the Patriots were going to win either way. But as a Pats fan, it hurts to know this, because it makes me feel like the Patriots weren't confident in themselves enough to not do this. Now, I don't blame this on the players at all. This obviously has something to do with higher up, possibly Bill Belichick, if this reigns to be true, because right now it is just a rumor and it is being investigated. The Colts, they became suspicious after they intercepted Brady. I guess they felt the ball didn't feel it was the correct weight. So we'll find out in due time if so the Patriots did in fact cheat, because this is cheating if they did. And just 1 week removed from Baltimore complaining about New England being shady about their formations, not giving them enough time and not allowing them to know which players are on the line and who are eligible receivers. It's just not a good look for the Patriots. You got Spygate, around 2007, 2006 when that came out. So this is a bad stain on the Patriots franchise, because people who hate the Patriots, now they have another thing to point their finger at and say, look at those cheaters. This is why they're winning. This is why they keep making the Super Bowl. When in fact, since Spygate, the Patriots have only gone 18-1, 16-0 perfect regular season, lost 2 Super Bowls on the last drive, I should say. Great drives by Eli Manning to win the game. Other than that, this Patriots team has not fallen off once since Spygate has been brought to light. But yet people still want to point to it, when in actuality, you have coaches on the record as Herm Edwards of ESPN saying this is done in all locker rooms. All coaches do it. New England just happened to get caught. And they did break the rule because they were recording in the area the NFL had designated that they not record. So they were wrong. And it was a major offense. They were fined heavily, the franchise, Bill Belichick, and they were docked draft picks. But to have something new, this Deflategate with the deflated footballs, it's just like, come on. New England, can you get out of your own way? Because I think 10 years from now, there will be a lot of people calling New England cheats. And that might be a reason why Tom Brady isn't revered as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time to some pundits, fans, and sports personalities. And it's understandable to an extent, but I have an idea that I would like the NFL to consider. I know it may seem far-fetched, but hey, NFL, how about having the referees in control of the footballs used during the game? Just a thought. Maybe you will be able to avoid this stain on your league if you had NFL personnel in place to control all the footballs used by each team. Now, I'm no genius, But that sounds like a logical solution so that this problem won't happen anymore going forward.